Hey everybody, it's Rockula, and welcome back to Rockula Retrospective. Today is Friday, October 31st, 2014. That's right, Halloween night, and I had to do my weekend re-review and post it before I went out and had all of my Halloween hijinks. So what I did this week is I did my research on some stuff, and I listened to what people had to say, went to watch some reviewers, and here's what I've got for you so that you can get all your loose ends tied up before the show on Sunday night. And one of the things that everybody pretty much agreed on was that Bob got bit. So nobody was like, I don't know, did Bob get bit or not? Everybody was like, yeah, we knew Bob got bit. But we got my first new regular commenter, viewer, friend, Olivella0513 pointed out a couple of things after watching my review, which you can see right here, by the way. If you want to go to my full review first, click on this and watch it. It'll send you right to it. Then you just come back and watch the re-review because, you got to get more Rockula. So he pointed out, I asked that I didn't see Michonne put her sword back, and he pointed out that Michonne did in fact put her sword back in between the time she was looking at the sword and the time when Reverend Gabriel Stokes came out of the door. So thanks for pointing that out. And he also pointed out, and I was wondering aloud about the sneak peek from this episode, and that was that Daryl's monologue about Beth when they were all getting back together and getting their story straight in the train car in Terminus, and that indeed was what happened. So that is audio from Daryl, back in another episode. So those Walking Dead tricksters are going to try to send you in a direction they may not want you to. They want you to go, but you don't know you're going. All right, here's something that I still haven't figured out yet, and that is the significance of why they would zoom in on this one thing. If you look where Eugene is sitting there waiting for Gareth to bust down the door in the church, he looks over and it says, and I'm going to get it right this time, I said it wrong, and I'm going to read it directly here. Stupidity is also a gift of God, but one mustn't use it. Which, as I said before, was stop being so stupid and monologuing and get your business done, because Rick just doubled back on you. Now he's going to shoot your finger off, and he's going to kill you with the red-handled machete. That was my other question was, what was the significance of the red-handled machete? And this is the significance right here.
Not gonna happen. This might.
There's guns in it. AK-47, 44 Magnum, automatic weapons, night scope. There's a compound bow and a machete with a red handle. That's what I'm gonna use to kill you.
So in previous episodes I had said that once The Walking Dead goes off the air, YouTube fills up with reviews, and it starts to get dominated by the people that like Trev's Chan, and like I said, I'm not putting these people down, but you get the big guys that come in, and that's all you see on the sidebar. But if you go right after the episode airs, you'll find a bunch of people who don't get a ton of hits, and some of them are actually pretty good. Some of them are just, people standing in front of their webcams and talking about the episode, which is great. But there are people out there that are putting a lot more of their personality into the presentation, and those are the people that I like best. And let's see here. I really liked Thick Chick Vlogs. She was cool. I don't know how to say this. It's spelled Suicalocks. Suicalox or something like that. She had a lot of personality, and I liked her. And I really liked this one, Shannon Toohey, who is the girl stock. I really liked her. So go to see those people and support them. Then I rediscovered a channel called post-show recaps, and most of those guys that are, you can tell it's a guy sitting there with a microphone and another guy on Skype or something like that. And usually it's just it's just a little too professional for me. It's let's regurgitate everything. You got the host, you got the guy who knows everything but won't tell you the spoilers, and it's a really successful thing that a combination. But I just don't go for it, man. A lot of these people just don't have personalities. But once again, I like Behind the Mask because they have personality, and I like post-show recaps. I'm going to start watching them again because just like Behind the Mask calls Sergeant Abraham Ford Shabraham, the guys at post-show recaps call his name is Martin. He was Terminus guard, but the guy that Tyrese should have killed, they call him Terminus douche. One of the questions I've been watching a lot of people ask is, what is the significance of the A on the side of the church? And if you go back and look at the first season, when the first episode of the season, not only were they in the train car with an A painted on it, but a lot of people didn't even notice this. When they were getting forced through the maze where they were being shot at and misdirected and all that other stuff, every junction they went through had a big A on it. Not really sure what the significance of the letter A is, but I do know that that's what Gareth uses as his sign. So maybe we'll never know what A means. So yeah, been watching Two Dead Girls. Didn't have a lot of new information to share with them, but Behind the Mask Presents brought up a couple of points here, and one of them is Maggie knows that Beth is alive because Daryl told her, and yet she hasn't said a damn word about it. She's all worried about getting back together with Glenn and staying with Glenn, but she hasn't said a word about Maggie. What's up with Maggie? And everybody's noticing that Maggie doesn't seem to care one bit about her sister. She cares about Glenn, but don't care about Beth. And they're saying that Tyrese is the new moral compass of the show. But when I hear that, I think of people that are, oppositionalists, like my least favorite character of Dale. But at the same time, you had the moral compass in Herschel, but he had all the wisdom to go with it. I mean, at first he was oppositional because he couldn't get it through his head that walkers were dead. But once he got that, he just became the perfect moral compass. So God, I hope Tyrese doesn't become the moral compass of this show, because let's face it, there's not a lot more room for people to be a moral compass. They've pretty much proven that they either know how to deal with somebody or they don't. I mean, they pretty much know what Gabriel's all about by now, and everybody else that they meet, Rick especially, is, Rick is the ultimate moral compass. And speaking of Rick, the guys at Behind the Mask also were saying, how did he not become Rick, I told you so? It's like, I told you we should have killed these people, told you we should have done this and done that, but he's shown once again that he is the true leader of this group, because a true leader doesn't just lead, and doesn't just lead by example, but has compassion for people who do not have the insight that the leader has. So when you make a mistake with Rick, if it's an honest mistake, he lets you know it, and he's like, look, that could have been us, so don't feel so bad about the brutality we just did. But so, and the other thing is, everybody's like, how does Rick know all of this stuff? How did he know how to go double back on him? How does he always seem to know how to judge people's character? But need we forget, Rick is wasn't he a highway patrolman or a police officer or something like that? Rick has been trained to be a police officer, and a police officer does all that stuff. He assesses people's character, he figures out ulterior motives, and that's why Rick's the best person to lead this group, because he has even more training about assessing personalities than Seamus does, because Seamus is just a soldier. He's supposed to do what he's supposed to do. But Rick's the guy that's really got the faculties to figure people's shit out on the spot, and that's why he's always going to be the leader of this group. Okay, so here we come with predictions, and talking about the sneak peek. We've looked at a couple of sneak peeks, and pretty much all of them show Beth in a hospital, and there's a friendly doctor, and then there's the tough cop. And when you hear the stuff where Daryl says Beth's gone, I think they have brainwashed Beth. I think that what's going to happen is, even if he does rescue Beth, she's not going to be all there. And so it could still, like I said, it could be Beth in the bushes, it could not, who knows. But Beth's not dead, but I predict that she's been brainwashed. And so we're going to have to see what happens. And if you've been watching the channel regularly, I've been trying to put out more and more videos. So directly after the episode on Sunday night, I am going to post my short reaction review video where I basically just point a camera at myself, watch the show, and make some snarky comments and or observations while I'm watching the show. I'm going to edit it down and put it up real quick. And please make sure to look for that as soon as you finish watching The Walking Dead. I see it about 9:20 Central Time because I'm here in Dallas and my streaming site makes it about 20 minutes after 9. So, yeah, please come and watch me on Sunday night, and then usually Monday night, maybe Tuesday afternoon, I get the full review in, and then I used to call it the midweek re-review, but it looks like all of these reviewers that I'm watching on YouTube, you know, especially Behind the Mask, they post on like Thursday night, and I can't really get it out by the middle of the week. So let's just call it from now on, let's call it the weekend re-review, and that's when you'll come in maybe Friday, Saturday, and get all your loose ends tied up like this and get ready for Sunday night. So hope to see you Sunday night, and that's going to be for episode 4 called Slab Town. I'm Rockula, and this is Rockula Retrospective.